Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh. Yay! Welcome back, AFTERBUZZ Nashville fans. Nice. Season 4, episode 12, called How Does It Feel to Be Free? And there are plenty of free people in this episode. I'm one of your hosts, Whitney Lane. You can follow me at Southern_Wit.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
So we are going to dig right in because this was a good episode, you guys. It's back into it. This is what we always say, though. There's one that's kind of slow, and then they pick it up with some new things.
Mm-hmm. And I think I don't want to say problem, but like the returning episode after such a long hiatus, it focused on one big topic, which was obviously the wedding. And this is like focusing on everybody again, which I really loved.
Yeah, everybody's storyline and like how they're managing to kind of come into their own almost and be free from certain things. So
freedom is the overall theme of this episode.
So let's start with Luke, because they kind of kicked off with Luke because he's back. We didn't have him last week.
Nope.
And you can see him texting his son. Colt never responds. Oh, it's just so sad.
Colt is such a teenage boy.
He is. But you know what? He's really like making Luke realize, wait, you got caught up in your superstardom and you forgot what was really important. And I think that was the theme for him this whole time. You know, he sees his old buddy and he's getting fans that are hating on him.
Riff. I liked Riff. I was like, okay, who's this guy? But I liked how Riff was like the epitome of what Luke was probably back then. And he got so far away from that type of person he used to be. And I liked how he got called out live on the show, be like, hey, you're completely someone different. And are you going to go back to your roots, back to your values, back to who you were?
Yeah, that one lady asked him, when have you been back to Kentucky where you grew up? Yeah. He like literally had haters, and I don't think he's used to that because he's been this superstar that everybody loves until, so that's the best thing. I liked Riff a lot. And I love that even though he was trying to sell these tickets and fill the seats, Juliette obviously was not going to be able to come on tour.
Yeah, no Juliette.
So instead of trying to find some other superstar, he went with his old buddy.
I like that because we see him struggling trying to get a big name for his thing. But the fact that he got called out on the show and he's like, maybe I should go back to my roots, go back to the people who I used to, be with. And I liked how he's bringing like a more family, personal dynamic back to his music.
Which you could see when he was sitting there eating dinner with the family. You could see him, and Riff kissed his wife.
Oh, yeah.
You could see Luke kind of be like, man, or they asked about his kids, and he's like, oh, like they both don't live with him. He's just alone at this point. So I think this is going to be a great way to bring it all back. However, just remind me that I have a prediction about this when we get to it.
Okay.
Since the whole family's going on tour, I feel that is going to be a little interesting.
Right. I just liked how they portrayed Riff because he's such a family man. He cares about his kids, and he had a successful music career.
Yeah, he must have given it up 4 platinum albums.
But he was okay with that too, and it's not like he wasn't successful that he had to stop. He's like, that was his personal choice, and I was like, Luke, go back to that.
Yeah, because he's a cool dude. Obviously, he had success. He was famous at one point in his time, but he picked living with having a family and kind of being that life, or having that life over it, which I like. So this is going to be good. It's going to be good for Luke for sure, and hopefully bring Colt back around.
Hopefully, yeah, and hopefully Colt can definitely see like he's changing his ways, wants to make amends with his father. Maybe start talking to Maddie again.
Well, let's talk about that because, woo, that was a bombshell.
What was it?
I mean, we knew it.
We knew it, but we got confirmation of it.
And we all know that we're talking about Maddie telling Cash that her and Colt had sex.
Yes.
And how young is she right now? 15, 16?
16, I think now.
So she was like, I know I'm young, Jesus, and all of these things.
Young.
That was shocking because we knew they implied it, but no one ever knew. So this time she actually came out and said it.
Yeah.
What did you think? Did you think that I thought it had happened?
I mean, we all speculated that was probably true, but the fact that I think it was the way she delivered it was like, whoa, big surprise there.
I know. What did you guys think? Let us know, because that one was a little bit of a shocker, I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe you all knew it was coming, but it was interesting.
But I liked how it came from her. We didn't find it out from Colt or anybody else who may have, gotten to that gossip for whatever reason. But I liked how it came from her because it obviously was already affecting her personally, too. And she's still questioning whether or not that was the good choice.
So maybe now we see a little bit more of to why she's been in a little bad mood. She's been insecure about this relationship, first of all. She's maturing and she's wanting to write songs with this girl that they fit very well together.
I love Cash.
Yeah.
Cash can stay.
She's good.
She can make
poor
her
Daphne looking through the window.
Oh my God, that was
so
heartbreaking.
sad. So sad.
But it is sad because we know how great Maddie and Daphne are together. All these seasons, we know, we don't want to break them up. But you got to remember, Maddie is in completely different time in her life than from Daphne. She needs to start hanging out with more mature people like Cash. And I think Cash is such a positive influence that Maddie so desperately needs in her life. I'm okay if she actually starts singing and collaborating with Cash.
I agree.
That's a whole nother dynamic we haven't seen.
She's teaching her to kind of be who she is and stand up for it. She's like talking about how she doesn't know if Colt likes her anymore. It's like, well, you can demand respect from this guy. If you decided to have sex with him and he decided he wasn't gonna talk to you anymore, find it out, Maddie. But you go, girl. And she did that to him, and I was really glad. And you saw him smile a little bit. So he's just dealing with stuff with his dad, and I think that's why he's been so standoffish with her. But we'll see where that goes.
We'll see, because we did hear the line that it's been 6 weeks. So, I mean, that's a long time for not really fully communicating after having sex. Who knows?
So you never know what's going through her head when she's already young, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there.
Hormones, emotions are everywhere.
And Daphne's just going to keep feeling pushed, and it makes me so sad because she's so cute.
So sad.
I know, but we'll see what happens there. It's obviously such an age gap that this is the storyline. It's the sisters that are supposed to be signed together, but Maddie's going to want to go off on her own, and Daphne's going to keep feeling left out of not only that, but also the family.
Yep. That's maybe
it's a lot.
Maybe we'll see Teddy come back. Who knows? Not that we want to see
he's
Teddy
straight up
come
in
back.
Prison. She's got a lot going on, that poor little girl.
All these episodes, we see Maddie being the emotional teenager one, but I think it'd be interesting to see Daphne kind of act up. I mean, we've seen moments of Daphne push back, but to see her kind of grow up in an angry kind of way, I think would be interesting. Not that I want that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, she's gonna obviously go through something.
I think her character might have a drastic change.
I think something weird's gonna happen with them while they're signed to Highway 65, because they're not getting along right now. So something's gonna give.
Ooh.
However,
I have a prediction on that.
Okay, save it.
Okay.
Oh, but Highway 65's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And Rayna is all about finding those people that are so she can take a chance on somebody.
Well, did she find her or did Deacon find her?
Well, let's talk about this new character. What do you think of Vita?
Vita, interesting. I've noticed this actress in other television shows, so I was like, okay, cool. Mysterious woman.
She is.
Didn't already trust her from the get-go, so I'm like, if she has talent, which she obviously did.
Right.
I liked her music and whatnot, but I still didn't trust her as a character because how they establish her that she has a history, and when she was filling out that form, any felonies? It was like, what have you done in your past?
It's something, and even just the way she came in and was like, "Can I audition for you, Deacon Claiborne?" She's all about. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
In a way,
maybe she sleeps in her car. So that's a cool part of this episode, though, because it's a story that's untold right now, and it'll be interesting to see how they develop her character. Because Rayna's rooting for her, Deacon's there, helping her get a job.
Deacon had Frank to help hire her,
but he's kind of reading through it. Now, here's my question, and for you guys too. Do we think that Vita stole $500, or do we think for some reason Frankie decided to pocket that to make it look like her because he didn't like her very much?
To get rid of Vita?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's always hard because the audience, didn't physically someone take money out of a till. We just hear it. So I think it would be terrible just on Frank as a business partner to do that to Deacon, to lie to his partner and say, hey, I did this just so we can fire someone.
Yeah.
I think that's really low at Frank. And I'd love to believe that he's a better person than that.
It's just hard because they all have a past, all three of them.
I know.
So that's the interesting part about it.
But it's also, we don't know this much information about Vita, and we know that she has a history.
Who was working really hard, too. You wouldn't think she would. Yeah.
But why immediately screw someone over just to get money?
That's why I don't know if it's her.
Yeah.
He had a weird thing about her. They didn't do a background check on her because Deacon was like, you know what we've been through. Like,
we'd fail a
there's
background
something
test.
odd. There's something odd there. So that'll be an exciting one. You know who she reminded me of country-wise, and you guys let me know if you agree or not. But because they were saying, oh, I've never heard a sound like this.
Yeah.
Who do you have anybody?
No, go for it.
Brandy Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a very different sound, but she has a new song, Girl Next Door, that just came out, new single, and it reminded me of Vita.
I could see that, yeah, definitely.
It's just this different, like, edgy, mysterious person. So
yeah, I love the acoustic version.
Yeah.
Like, her voice with the acoustic guitar is fantastic.
So we shall see where that goes. Someone else doing music is Layla. She is getting serious about her tunes.
New record. But
so what do we think here? So they come in, and really, I'm sure she was afraid that Rayna was going to fight her on it because she already has an album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Rayna was like, go, girl.
But I think I love Rayna because she's such a brilliant musician and businesswoman that, like, she had a good compromise with Layla. Like,
Yeah.
let's just do the first album that we ordered you to, and then afterwards, if you can make a commitment to a tour, then, like, yeah, be creative as much as you want on your second one. I think that was completely brilliant, and Layla would be a fool to turn that down.
Totally. I mean, that's awesome. And now she's working with Juliette's ex-manager, working with her now ex-husband. So what do we think? Last week, I think we were all, like, skeptical of Layla's motives with Avery. This week I shifted.
Yeah, same here.
Because it seems like, and she said something at the beginning. Oh, she said something to Rayna. She goes, yeah, I think we're a match made in heaven. And I don't know if that means, like, we've both been dealt with some, like, crazy, I don't know what it is.
Or maybe it's just meant to be.
Or okay, first of all, there's something there. The way that they communicate, they're both, like, going through something, so they cried with each other on this episode.
What I found interesting was also there was a shot where, like, she touched him, like, gently caressed his arm. I'm like, what are you doing to us,
it's
editors?
happening.
And then also there was, we see the moment where Avery just, like, literally splurts out all of his deep, dark secrets with Julia. I was like, dude, this is not the person you should be dealing and dishing out your secrets to.
That's what I thought, too.
She could leak this to anybody.
See, that's where it turned for me, because that's what I thought she would do, and she didn't. In fact, Avery, who is obviously he's going through a lot. You see the turmoil that he's dealing with. He doesn't want to lie anymore. He wants her, she won't even speak with him when he goes however far out of his way to go to where she's in rehab.
Oh, yeah,
or
I felt so
at
bad
the
for Avery.
place where she is. I don't know what it is called. I guess it's still like a rehabilitation clinic. But she wouldn't even speak with them, and then it's like, no, I'm overlying. So I didn't know that they were actually. Did I know that? Did you know that it was divorce? I thought it was like separation, but I didn't know it was like we're getting a divorce.
Well, I think they were technically separated because they did go separate ways,
right.
But now it's official divorce.
It's like
now it's also public.
Sign those papers kind of thing, yeah.
Which is interesting because the way that they told the audience, it was via television, so it makes me think...
Even Avery...
Was it Juliette who told the press that they were divorced, or was it Avery who told
Well,
people
it said
that
it was
they
a
were
statement
divorced?
from Juliette Barnes. So
did it?
You would
Okay.
assume...
I might have missed that.
Yeah, I think you would... I think it was just... Oh, it's just so interesting. So that just opens it up.
Cold of Juliette to... That's the way you tell your husband that you're having an official divorce via media?
They didn't even speak on the phone. She wouldn't even give him that courtesy. It's like a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there, but in the end...
It's making her character less redeemable when she comes back.
It is. It's hard.
It's really hard.
But it's definitely opening, like, they're able to, like, talk to each other and flirt with each other and be with each other at this point, Layla and Avery, and I think that's, like, where it's going, which is going to make for some drama, which could be good. Because when Juliette comes back, you know she ain't going to have that.
Yeah, and I still think it's kind of premeditated thought on Layla's part to get close to Juliette's manager, Juliette's producer,
There's
just
something.
Juliette's career,
And
because
her
we know how
ex-husband.
much Layla just pretty much wants to be Juliette. So like the fact that she's doing everything that Juliette was doing, I still don't trust Layla either.
I don't fully either, but it's so interesting because she knows exactly how to hit at Avery when she said, you know, I was married to Will. My life was a lie. Like, I know exactly what you're going through. So they have that connection that's like...
A similarity.
Yeah, which
you're like,
is...
shoot, you're right.
There's a lot in common, which I think it makes it easier for them to be together and work together on these weird late hours when the studio's available. Who knows who's asking for that? You just never know.
Don't believe that part.
Ooh, that's going to be drama. I can't wait for that, actually.
Do you think it's too soon for those two to maybe even possibly get together?
Yes, it's too soon, and I think Avery's better than doing that because they're both kind of dealing with healing from something, from a loss. It's a divorce, and then it's a loss of her boyfriend who actually died.
But it's rebounding.
Yeah, and it may make I don't know, but that's going to be very interesting. This is a good one.
I hope not, though.
Oh, it's going to be so crazy.
So crazy. But before we actually move on, you know what's another crazy fun thing, though?
What is?
Our founders here at AfterBuzz TV, Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, as you know, they started AfterBuzz TV. They actually have a new show. It's called The Tomorrow Show.
Ooh, tell us about this.
Yeah, it's a new talk show, and you know them. They're awesome. They're big in the Hollywood industry. Maria's a big star and a big news reporter, and this show is called The Tomorrow Show, and it's live on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on thetomorrowshow.com. If you check it out, you'll also see our fellow AfterBuzzers, Roxy Stryer, Laura LaGrasso, Ashley Daniels, Jesse every once in a while. It's really cool to talk about life. They talk about Hollywood, behind-the-scenes stories, because, you know, they're so into that industry.
So we see the behind-the-scenes of Nashville on the show. Might as well see what the real Hollywood's all about.
And Maria appeared on Nashville every once in a while. Remember those?
Yeah.
So check it out, The Tomorrow Show, and also download it. It's free on iTunes, thetomorrowshow.com. Check it out. It's
For
awesome.
sure.
If you support AfterBuzz, support them too.
Hello. Always want that good stuff. Always got to talk about some good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the best storyline of the episode.
So good.
And tell us if you agree, but it was Will's storyline this time.
So freaking good.
It was Will's. Okay, so
let's take a moment to breathe.
I know, because I was like so proud. So Scarlett and Gunnar have a performance, and obviously Scarlett, that as they're walking in, sees Gunnar's girl Erin making out with some dude in a truck.
Like, okay, Erin.
Which we knew she was like that.
Yeah.
And in the end, it worked out exactly. I mean,
and I
now
never really liked Erin from the beginning,
Nobody
so
did.
I'm actually kind of okay. That gave her reason to leave.
It did, because now Scarlett's single, and now Gunnar's like, well, he was like, I don't even feel jealous, so that's not how it should be. You should feel those feelings and be, you know, at least like, what's going on? So now it paves the way for Scarlett and Gunnar. However, their timing's always off.
But now it's actually convenient timing.
Except for the fact she's going out with the taxidermist. I was like, no, girl.
That's not going to last.
Woo!
You know that.
Yeah, she was embarrassed by that
I loved how she said
anyway.
it was like, don't ask about it.
Yes,
So
I love
funny.
that. She was embarrassed. Everybody knew.
She
but
should be.
they offered Will a spot. He said he was on the road and he was, you know, singing in bars where people didn't know him. But they offered him, why don't you sing when we're doing our set?
Yeah.
Which is awesome because he does have friends who support him and are, you know, they know he's super talented. Oh my gosh, that was the scariest. I literally screamed and covered my eyes.
The first time?
Yes.
Yes.
What an awful human being.
What a terrible human being.
Who sits there and first of all says things like that? Like, that's just rude in general. You're bullying someone. You're not letting them be proud of who they are.
And you're doing it in public, which just makes you
look like an imbecile,
way
which
more
he was.
terrible.
Ignorant. He was ignorant.
And it's also, I was like, bars and public places like that, they should have the right to throw whoever the heck they want out.
And they should have done that already.
Where's the owner? Who should be throwing this ignorant a-hole out?
Next thing you know, he's throwing a bottle at Will's face.
Oh, that was
literally,
terrible.
that was so scary.
Smack dab in the face.
Oh my gosh, that was really
Like,
good
I
the way
felt
they
like
did it, though, right?
When I saw him throw it was so
I mean,
good.
it looked so authentic, and he comes up with the blood. I was like, whoa.
gushing.
It was real to me.
That was a serious hate crime.
And obviously, it could have been a felony, but Will chose not to write a statement and press charges. And for a while, they kind of insinuate that it's because he's going to take care of it. Like, he's going to go and beat this dude up. Which I was like, oh, no, don't do anything dumb, because what does that do? In the end, it just, like, brings more drama around you don't want drama around that. You want drama around how good your music is. You know, that's what he's trying to show.
I know. And I loved Will's logic in all of this, his mentality, because he's like, if I write, hate crimes and write a case against and statement against everyone who hated me, then like, what's the point of even performing every night? It's like, yeah, I get that too, but I loved how he was so mature in this situation, and he took the high road, which is never easy.
And as you heard Gunnar say, he's way more brave than I am.
Scarlett agrees too.
I was shocked. So he gets up there. First of all, he buys the guy a beer.
Because you never finished yours.
That was so good. And then he performs, but then he just, it was just great. It shut him up. You saw that it shut the guy up, because it's like, what's the point of, why? What do you gain out of that, for hurting somebody else's feelings or making them feel small? You look like the idiot.
Yeah, and I loved how the second time around he had everyone else like really call out the idiot as well. Because, he was just being a jerk.
Oh, I'm so proud of him.
I'm so proud.
Because he got up there and then he sang his song, which Ain't It Beautiful? And I thought, what a great song. And
Amazing.
he was, I don't know, it was just so courageous. He was kind when he did it. I mean, at least a little, It
was a class act, which, I mean, we know Will, he can be a real gentleman at this, like, at certain times. But, like, this as a musician, as a professional, like, there was no other better way to go about this situation.
And to go through all these ups and downs with what's going on in his personal life and in his career, it's just going to set the stage for him to succeed, I think, especially if he handles situations that way. When it comes down to label wanting somebody who's got a fresh sound and who's got a good head on his shoulders and is a good role model for certain people, like, that's him.
Yeah.
I only want him to succeed because he's a good, decent human.
Yeah, and I was like, Will has to remember that, a handful of people might not like him for his personal choices and just who he is, but the majority still love him.
Yeah.
And he proved that in that audience. Like, everyone still loved him.
I think that's true for anybody that feels like they're bullied or they're going through something where people aren't being kind. It's like, but somebody does love you and somebody does support you. So, like, to always try to remember that, and it's hard to do, but he just gave a great example as to how to stand up for yourself and be proud of who you are, and only good things are coming for Will and his music, and I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good episode.
It was amazing.
Was there anything else that we missed? I feel like we got through it all.
Well, I mean, we quickly touched upon it, but I love the song that Maddie sang with Cash.
Yes, that was a good one.
Like, we need
about her.
Yes, we need the full version of that song.
Did I write it down? Big Wave. It was called Big Wave. It was a really good one because that's her. It's coming into her own.
Real and genuine, and we got just a slight subtle backup from Cash. It's like, I could hear a full album like this.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed, our buddy Tom Proctor, who's been in studio, was back. The sound engineer, when Avery was in there. We've had him in studio, so that was cool.
Yeah,
I bet he's enjoying that. But
I loved it.
Overall, a really good episode. A lot of good topics and, like, themes in this one about being you.
Yeah, I feel it's so relatable that, like, when when you find someone's cheating on your best friend, that, like, you should do the right thing and tell them. And then you have homosexuality and people who may have issues with that. You stand up for what you believe in, and you stand up for your friends. And I think it's so, all these relationships and storylines everyone can love and relate to.
Everybody goes through stuff like this, so it's interesting. They're doing well. That was a good one.
And go back to your roots.
Yep.
Because even though if you become a successful person, you just got to remember where you come from.
And to give people a chance that you may not know and may not, they may be going through something really difficult or crazy. Rayna's giving her a chance, so it's really cool. That was a good episode for anybody watching that one. I can't wait till the next one. Now, should we get to predictions?
Yes.
Okay.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Okay, which one? What was yours?
Well, you had a prediction.
Okay, I had one, and this is me going, like, the Nashville mind, and I don't want this to happen, but for a second, when Luke was sitting there with his buddy, what was his name, Riff, his family, and then he calls, he's like, oh my, it's going to be a family affair, all the people are coming, and I'm like,
oh no.
Luke looking at him kissing his wife and being a little jealous. I just don't know. I want Luke to be a good dude, but who knows what's going to happen when, like,
Luke's a little lonely right now.
And I don't know. I would hope he wouldn't do that to his friend, but wouldn't that bring back the drama?
That would make good drama.
It would make
scandalous.
Especially when they imply it with the words "a family affair."
Family affair.
Like, that's hard to catch, but I wonder if it will actually turn into something like that.
Interesting.
We shall see.
Or if those girls will have a family affair with Colt. If Colt comes back into Luke's life,
his daughter or something, the daughter,
that would cause more drama between him and Maddie.
There's so much.
Who knows? Okay,
if that's even right at all.
My prediction is about Maddie, because we see her awesome short performance with Cash, and we know there's an agreement between Daphne and Maddie has this duet partnership for the label. What if, I don't know if Daphne is the one who breaks it off out of jealousy, be like, no, I don't want to record an album with my sister, and then Maddie goes on with Cash and they become the duet for the label,
which Maddie would love.
It sounds terrible, but I kind of would actually want to hear that.
Well, it's going to bring drama for sure, something between those sisters. What do you think is going to happen? Like, or not that. What do you think happened with Vita? What is her backstory? Like, do you have any predictions on that? She obviously was arrested.
She was arrested. I think maybe she... Ooh, it's so... Because we know so little of her that maybe she got caught up with... I'm not saying, like, guys... But maybe, like, she had a torrid love affair with someone. And then he left her with no money, and she had to fend for herself, and then started stealing.
Yeah. Ooh, it could be that, because we've been through the domestic violence with the girl a long time ago. What was her name? Start with an S.
Oh.
Remember? Good singer. Very good singer. So we've had that one.
Is this Sadie?
Yes. Sadie. Good
Sadie.
one. So we've been through that.
Oh, my goodness.
We've been through I found out my brother got killed and was sleeping with my ex.
Yeah. And that was Gunners.
Right. So I feel like this maybe it does have to do with stealing. She's living in her
Theft.
car. Yeah, you never know. But there's something there.
Something felonious.
Tell us what y'all think about Vita, because that's a new character that we don't really know.
I think maybe hopefully we'll have her come back and her maybe explain things or explain an
It'll
alibi.
start coming out somehow.
If it wasn't her. Because us as the audience, we just physically didn't see it. So we can't just already blame Vita. That's not fair to her.
Yeah, because it could have been somebody else. Oh, it's such a good story. We don't know.
Really good. It was a really good
They're being
episode.
sneaky, people.
Shoot.
Well, until next week, thank y'all so much for joining us. You know we love talking about Nashville and all things country. The ACMs are next weekend too, you guys. I'll be there, so keep
excited.
in touch. Yes, check it out, because I'll be interviewing all the country artists and things like that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Southern_Wit to keep all up to date with country and Nashville and all things Southern. And what about you, Marisa?
Excellent. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
We will see y'all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz y'all later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.